Gideon Levy joins me now live from Tel Aviv. He's an Israeli journalist and author. Great to have you here with us on TRT World. Let me begin by asking you a million-dollar question. And I'm not sure whether or not you have an answer to this, but I'll ask it anyway. What is on Netanyahu's mind?
No, it's even not $1 question. Netanyahu's mind right now is to survive politically and to maintain his government. His coalition is in a very fragile situation, or at least was. And the only way out of it was to renew the war over Gaza. In any case, I think also that he believes, I give him the credit for this, that he believes that this war should continue because 48,000 killed Palestinians in Gaza are not enough.
And what I find very controversial here is the fact that the Israeli Prime Minister wants to negotiate while attacking the Gaza Strip. How is that going to happen?
No, that's just a lip service. He doesn't want to negotiate because there is nothing to negotiate. He is not ready to put an end to the war right now. He is not ready for sure to withdraw the troops out of Gaza. And as long as this will not happen, there is no room for compromise. He thought he can save some more hostages without doing those things. But the agreement he signed was very clear. And he was supposed to, by now, we were supposed to be in the second phase, which he refused even to discuss, to negotiate. Israel should have withdrawn already from the corridor, from the Philadelphia corridor. He didn't do so. So he cannot blame anyone but himself.
Right. And Gideon, I think we have established here now that the resumption of attacks on Gaza is about Netanyahu's survival, then it's about releasing the hostages or putting an end to this war. But what I find mind-boggling here is the fact that the U.S. is playing a crucial role in Netanyahu's survival because the resumption of attacks took place with the blessings of the United States.
That's the most worrying part in it, because in the beginning we thought that Trump and his envoy Steve Witkoff had some plan to put an end to this war, but apparently Netanyahu succeeded to convince them that this war is good for Israel and good for the United States, I guess. In any case, he got a green light, and this means that nobody can stop Netanyahu right now.
Gideon, you know, just a few days ago, I got the opportunity to speak to former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Olmert, and I remember asking him this question, whether or not he believes Donald Trump will be able to influence Netanyahu into a lasting peace. And his response was, absolutely. If there's anyone on this planet who can push Netanyahu, squeeze Netanyahu, then it's Donald Trump. And he told me that he's hopeful Donald Trump is going to squeeze him to choose peace. But seems like Donald Trump has chosen another way.
That's so tragic here. Not that I had so many hopes from Donald Trump, and I totally agree to what Ehud Olmert said. Donald Trump has the capability to squeeze, as you say, Netanyahu, but he has no intention to put an end to the war, to bring a political settlement.
What do you think is stopping Donald Trump?
I'll tell you, only his ideology. He couldn't care less about the Palestinians. He couldn't care less about words like occupation, human rights, minorities, oppression. This is not in his world. What Donald Trump is looking for is two things, money and power. And releasing Gaza doesn't serve this. He had this fantastic dream about a Riviera in Gaza, but I guess he by himself knew 5 minutes later that that's childish and not serious. But a real settlement in which Gaza will get its freedom, Gaza will be liberated, is the last of his concerns.
Gideon, I understand that there has been efforts within the international community to put an end to this onslaught on Gaza, but most of those efforts have not produced any sort of concrete results. You have been covering this conflict for decades. Tell me, is there anything that you think the international community should be doing at this point to put pressure on the White House so that Trump can tell Netanyahu to stop this?
So the tragic is that I don't see who can put pressure on the White House. Right now, I see that Europe is totally paralyzed by Donald Trump, and so are some other countries. I don't see them exactly putting pressure on Donald Trump to put pressure on Israel. They hardly can say their word in the White House. You see how scared and paralyzed they are. The key is really the United States, the administration. They have the capability to go quite far, but they don't have the intention.
Gideon, very quickly before I let you go, what do you think is going to happen in the near future? Is this war going to continue?
I'm afraid so. I don't see who is going to stop it. I mean, Hamas will not put himself on his knees and dismantle itself and remain with nothing. The only asset they still have are the hostages and the fact that they are running Gaza. I don't see them giving this up. And without this, Israel will continue to punish Gaza. And it might even be worse than the first day round. And this is very worrying. I practically don't see who is going to stop this.
That's very worrying. Gideon Levy, always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much for joining me here on TRT World. Appreciate your taking out the time.